you're out there, you can feel the environment around you. It's basically like a Harley with four wheels, really. I guess is what it's like. Not that I've ridden any Harleys, not a Harley guy, but yeah, you can't compare it with anything else, and you've got more power than the car can ever have under your right foot. So it's a challenge, but to resist the urge, it's quite a buzz actually to be ripping down the motorway in a Roadster, and especially good if you get 2 or 3 Roadsters out together. It's quite good fun. Yeah. Well, when I finished the Chev channeled Roadster, pretty much came to the conclusion that I wanted a highboy would be the next project. So start thinking about 32s and the like, and then Dane Tyler, a friend of mine who also in our club, just happened to say to me one day that he was going to sell his project, which was a 31 Brookville on a 32 chassis, which was a really good start. It was originally going to be the Franklin Roadster's gasser, so I said I'd grab it off him with a totally different vision in mind than the gasser, and then didn't really do much for a little while, just sort of looked at the different styles of cars in the era period, sort of hot rods, and liked the Walker Morrison 32, and also the Doane Spencer really caught my eye. Actually, Noel Jessup said to me, "Shit, the Doane Spencer's cool, you could do something like that." So sort of headed down that path, talked a lot with Dan and Gary at Rocket about how to set the car up suspension wise, and front and rear, and get it looking right. The project sort of headed down the path through for Rocket for a couple of years. Actually, it's been in the shop there, and we just kept adding ideas and turning it into what it is today. And I basically finished it off at home over last winter, and then it's really just been finished off now. It's been up at Kelly at Stitches, and he's done a great job on the interior, so it's almost could say it's done now. Yeah, as time goes on, hot rodding becomes infectious, and the more you learn, the more you want to know, and all that history and stuff. I've learned a lot in the last 5 years about hot rodding and where it came from and what it's about, and I wanted to actually personally create something that I think captured some of that history, and a cool car that maybe is a bit of a timepiece, I guess, for everyone in New Zealand maybe to have as one of the hot rods of the scene at the moment. Just need the sun to come out again instead of midwinter. We did a lot of work on it. Him and I spent a lot of time over ideas like how the dash would be, and the rear roll pan, and how the body actually fitted on the chassis and things like that. So I didn't want it to look like just another catalogue hot rod. Did try to make it with some special features that you couldn't really replicate without going to some great lengths. Big believer of less is more, so really subtle. I think that's what makes a car look a package. It should all look as a complete vehicle versus little pieces, bits and pieces, so that's what we were trying to achieve too. Did the traditional dropped axle front suspension, and I like the look of hairpins, so I went for a hairpin setup at the front, and I scored some big 59 Buick drums for the front off Grease Martin at a swap meet, and that was the go. I wanted the big, got to have drum brakes, so big drums, and then I actually found another set with complete rears. So it's got 59 Buick drums all round, which I thought was pretty cool. Ended up picking up a 327 off Trade Me, and it turned out to be a numbers matching 65 Corvette engine fully rebuilt in the States that had come in a Camaro, and was a bit smoky because it had been in a museum for a few years. So we just gave it a hone and some new rings and checked a few things out, and that was good. And then the centre force clutch and a Tremec 5-speed, narrowed Mustang diff with bonus axles in it, which suit the wide 5 stud pattern of the wheels. Pete and Jake style ladder bars under the rear suspension, and it had coilovers actually set up. Dana set it up with coilovers, so I stuck with that, and I think that was a good decision because the ride was really good at the rear, and you can get the power down to the road without it bumping around quite so much as the buggy spring style setups do. So I'm pretty happy with that actually, how we ended up there. Squeak Bell came up with a set of V860 rims and some Mercury rims, so it's now got V860 3.5s on the front and Mercury 5 inches on the rear, which actually make the tyres sit really well. That's another good thing, these parts appear if you start talking to the right people and hunting around. Really liking the look of the 54 Chev Bel Air Custom. Have to find one first really, so maybe a trip to the States to get one of them, but there's no rush. I've just family and houses and stuff like that also at this go in this stage in my life, so I'm quite lucky to have the vehicles I do have at the moment, so I'll just keep my ear to the ground and keep my eye out. But that for me, yeah, will be the next car, I think. Custom of some sort, and once you settle on one, it's pretty hard to compromise on something else, so we'll find something and get it happening.